Good evening. We're going to start our meeting for today, and I would like to start thanking everybody to be here attending the meeting. And next, I'm gonna call for introduction of everyone here on our board, and we can start to our left, to our right.
Good afternoon, everyone. Luis Larraga with BPUB Communications and Marketing.
Daniela Sosa with Next Decade.
Good evening, everyone. Joe Medrano, small business owner, Brownsville.
David Ramirez, CEO, Brownsville Board of Realtors.
Carmen Nordak, Medical Insurance Agency.
Miguel Ángel Patiño with Laboratory Corporation of America. Okay, next, we're gonna approval of November minutes.
There's a correction on the minutes, Mr. Chair. On the name, it's not David Medrano, it's David Ramirez.
Okay.
We'll get those revised and we'll get it sent over to you.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion to approve? Everything?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next, it's old business.
I just wanted to remind, there are several of you on the panel who are participating in the scholarship review for the Share Scholarship. Though there was an extension, so the deadline is this Friday, April 17th. So just if you can get, submit those if you haven't.
Okay. Any new business?
I just wanted to mention briefly that BPUB has been very active out in the community. Last weekend, our CEO attended the East Brownsville Little League opening ceremony. BPUB staff attended with her, and they threw out an opening pitch as we're one of the main sponsors of the Little League this season, so that was a fun event for them. She also visited the BISD racing team here at Oliveira Middle School. It's a group of all girls, or it just happened to be all girls who are competing, or who have been competing at very high levels since last year and years before. And so BPUB is a proud sponsor of that racing team. And then just in this week, or last week and this week, she participated as a panelist in two conferences regarding water issues and some of the funding that comes along with that. That was hosted by NADBank and the Texas Water Development Board, RGV Partnership. So we've been out there and advocating for Brownsville and for BPU.
Great. Thank you very much.
I would just like to say that it's always a pleasure to hear the reports for the involvement of community of PUB in different aspects of the community and what the community is involved in, aside from the work that's done here on a daily basis and you know, some of the challenges that are faced. So I just think that it's good to hear these reports of community involvement. And I would just say, going back to the old business, this is, I think, my third year involved in the scholarships, and it's truly, or rather, evaluating some of the scholarships come in. It's been a very rewarding experience on that level too, knowing that we have a voice in the future of some of our young people. So I just want to give props to the staff and the administration and the leadership who have that foresight to continue to do these things for the community.
Thank you very much. Next is new development process.
Good evening, members of Pubcap. My name is Luis Guillermo Martinez, and I am the Electrical Engineering Manager with the Electric Engineering Department. We thought that today was a great opportunity to talk to you all about what the new development process looks like as seen from the electrical engineering side. But before we start, I would like to just get a clear definition of what a new development is for purposes of this presentation. Basically, is anything that is getting built that is going to require utility services, and in particular, electric service. Here's going to be a brief outline of what we'll be discussing today. We will start by answering the question, why does this process matter? Followed by a new development project's life cycle, continuing with some time estimates on this process, and then finalizing with some key takeaways, and also a session for questions, if any. But by all means, please feel free to interrupt if you have any questions throughout the presentation. Why does this process matter? It allows for consistently handling of projects. It also allows for clear accountability of parties involved. It allows for predictable hands-off between different teams involved, and it ensures records accuracy. The new development project lifecycle, as seen from a very high level, consists of 7 steps of 7 main areas that we need to work on. The very first one being the customer intake and document collection, followed by an engineering design and analysis. Step number 3 being the cost estimating and work order. Step number 4, revisions and approvals. Step number 5, construction field crew coordination and project management. Step number 6, field staking and verification. And last but not least, the final documentation and project closeout. Now that you have seen the process in the high level, we're going to start diving into each of these steps just to give you a little bit more details. So how does a project start? BPUB collaborates with the City of Brownsville and works very closely using the Accela Civic platform, which is a cloud-based system that they have adopted a little bit over 3 years ago. In BPUB, we actually have accounts which monitor the projects that are coming in through different departments. So this is a great way of how projects started following the City of Brownsville already approval of new projects coming into the city. On our end, we still receive sometimes walk-ins, emails, or phone calls, and whenever we receive these customers, we refer them to follow that process, right, to make sure that all documentation starts the right way. The only time that we do take customers this way is when they are applying for a service outside of the city limits, such as the Port of Brownsville. Of course, they don't have to follow the Accela platform system, so we do take and initiate projects that way. Once we have started engaging with the projects and the customers, we start asking for the necessary documentation to start these projects, being the site plans, electric plans, any digital drawings of the project, and also an electric checklist, which is a form that the customer creates documenting what type of load they will bring into the system, what is the voltage they need. Sorry.
So are we talking about all construction, when people want to construct a home and they go through the city, they don't come to PB, they go through the city and it comes directly to you?
Yes, but let me add you some clarification. For homes and new houses that are being built, usually those go to a subdivision process, and there will be already facilities in place, right? Electric facilities installed. So typically, those will not go through our department because it has been already planned in advance from the developers. They know that the infrastructure must be in place before they even sell the land. This will be like for a new plaza that is getting built, that will be a good example, or even the subdivision. That's how these start, right? I mean, we need to make sure that we receive all this documentation from developers. Okay. Thank you for the question. Okay, so yeah, on the electric checklist, they will provide all these specifications on the load that they are expecting to bring to the system. What is our responsibility? So first of all, we need to determine if this area is certified to have a BPUB electric service. We need to ensure all documentation is accurate and clear, and if there is any questions, then we work with the customers in making sure that these are addressed early in the process. What are the common risks in the process? Incomplete documentation is a typical one, but we are proactively addressing this with customers, making sure that they understand what is needed before we can even get started. There is also cases where customers just halt conversations. Project maybe is not going as planned due to other constraints that they might have. And of course, on that end, I mean, we really cannot do much other than just follow up with them. There is also scope changes after a design starts. And also there is a project queue. What that means is that when we're notified that there is a project coming in, we have to follow a priority based on how the projects have been received. And once we have a chance to get to it, usually within a couple of weeks, we start that active engagement with the customers, making sure that they know that this is being looked at. Step number 2, engineering design and analysis. One of the typical analysis that we complete is what we call a pole loading analysis. Whenever we're building overhead lines, we need to make sure that we simulate everything that is gonna be built in that pole to be able that it's gonna sustain high wind speeds. We need to model any cross arms attached to it, transformers, conductors, communication cables, and then we run a simulation for 105 miles per hour wind speed, which is equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane. So all of our new infrastructure that is getting built should be able to sustain this wind speed after we have completed this study. If there is any constraints, we make sure that the structure is reinforced, higher class poles, or we look at other options. But that's one of our latest guidelines that we have adopted, making sure that all new designs comply with this one. Go ahead, Mr. Ramirez.
So on the new subdivisions, aren't you all building underground now?
Yes, yeah, that's correct. This is just an example. If we need to extend a line across one of the main roadways in the city, then of course it has to be overhead. So yeah, we're still installing overhead lines, especially for higher loads. When we know that the city is growing, this is the main way to be able to get power toward that area. And once we go into the subdivisions, you're right, we have to go underground.
Thank you.
That's part of the city requirements. Okay. Then on the engineering analysis, we also complete transformer sizing, conductor sizing, and some coordination of protection devices as needed. We also complete clearance analysis. What that is basically, do we meet the minimum separations between the equipment that is installed along the structure, clearances from other facilities, right? I mean, if it's an overhead line, if it's above certain roadway, if it's a textile road, if it's a regular road, if it's a driveway, all of those have to be verified to make sure that it's gonna be safe for that line to be built. We also make sure that we comply with all of our standards and make sure that any applicable codes, such as the National Electrical Safety Code, is also followed. Our responsibility is mainly to balance the system reliability, safety, and constructability. And we also coordinate between the different departments involved in the project. At the end of this step, what we're gonna have is an engineering design ready for cost estimating. For cost estimating and the work order creation, we use CityWorks, which is an internal tool that we have been using at BPUB for the last maybe over 15 years. It has a database of the latest cost estimates for labor, material. It allows for collaboration between different departments, work order statuses, task completions. It's also used as a central repository of information that has been received for the project. So basically, this is how we create our cost estimates and work orders that are gonna be sent to construction. And here we also identify any contributions that are needed from the customer. If there is any cost that has to be, asked from the customer to build these facilities, we document it here. Our responsibility is to provide an accurate cost estimate based on the scope of the project, and of course, maintain that documentation to support it. At the end of this step, we'll have a work order ready for review and approval. Step number 4, revisions and approvals. Within our department, we have implemented a system that we call a peer review. What that means is that each of our projects that have been assigned have a project manager or engineer assigned to them, but we require a peer review for a fellow project manager within the same department to ensure that we have some type of quality control, knowledge transfer of any lessons learned. Whenever you have new team members, this is a great tool for them to understand that they are consistently applying the guidelines. So after that review has been received, then it gets passed on for the final approval, which will be either our electrical engineering administrator, myself, the engineering manager, or even our director. Based on the cost of the project, we all have different thresholds that we have to follow. After the work order has been approved, we also need to make sure that there is funding. Was this budgeted as an improvement for the company, or there is a contribution required from the developer or customer? And if there is any, then we need to make sure that this is collected before the project can even get a plan or a schedule. Step number 5, construction field crew coordination and project management. After we have completed the design, the work order has been approved, and we have the funds, then this is where our projects materialize. Once we have this work order ready, we send it to our electric transmission and distribution construction team for them to be able to schedule it either with an internal crew or with a contractor. We also coordinate pre-construction meetings with all parties involved to make sure that everybody understands what their role is in the project. We still serve as the main point of contact for any project questions and coordination-related matters. Our responsibility will be to adjust the design as needed based on how it is evolving in the field. Step number 6, field staking and verification. Once we have already a crew assigned and we know when the project is going to start, then we head out again to the field to make sure that we start marking all the proposed equipment. It's going to be light poles, pole-mounted transformers, pedestals, anything that is going to be installed above ground, we need to mark it before it can get built. One of the main reasons is that we need to request spotting tickets. And what a spotting ticket provides to is that they will mark any underground utilities in the area, any other electric lines, water lines, wastewater lines, gas, communication. So we need to make sure that we will not damage those. And a challenge that we face with new developments is that most likely there is other utilities that are getting built at the same time. So you don't get those marked because they are not official records. So what we need to do, we need to be proactively looking for other contractors in the area and communicate with developers to make sure what they are building is also going to be consistent with what we're installing and make sure that none of us is going to damage our lines when we're completing this work. Our responsibility will be to approve any required field-driven changes. And last but not least, we have the final documentation and project closeout. After the project is complete and we have documented any changes if needed, then this part of the process can be easily overlooked, right? Because you need to have very strong internal controls, because usually the crew is gone, the customer is happy, there is most likely no complaints, they are selling the land, they have power, so you tend to move to the next project. But on our side, we need to make sure that that internal control exists, because we need to receive an as-built of what has been built, because this is fundamental for the next project that is going to come out nearby. We need to make sure that we know what was built in the past so we can connect to it or modify as needed. We receive the as-built, we verify the facilities, we inspect them. Once all the information has been collected, then we prepare what we call a closing packet for any other department involved, making sure that they document it on their end. A good example will be our geographical information system department. They need to make sure that they post in the electrical database any facilities that have been added to the system. And also on the financial side, we need to let them know this project has been completed. Please close all the financial transactions related to it. Our responsibility still is to maintain accurate records and make sure that we support the long-term data collection process. Okay, but now that you have seen the process overall, I would also like to give you a rough estimate of what are the time estimates of a project, right? But keep in mind that this is in the perfect scenario when there is one project for one project engineer, there is no delays, communication is going smoothly, that basically is a perfect project. This is just for purposes of understanding the workload that each project represents for our staff. Approximately, it will be about 18 hours. But in reality, projects could be anywhere from a couple of months to even a couple of years, depending on the scope and the volume of new developments that are happening at a given time. So now here will be the key takeaways. After you have seen this presentation, I know it was a lot of material, but if you were to remember anything at the end of the day, this is what I would like you to remember. Our design phase starts after all documentation has been received and reviewed, and we provide this upfront to the customers, making sure that they understand, once you give us all the information, then we start counting. But if there is still something lacking, there is not much we can do because we cannot design if we don't know what's coming. Through CityWorks, we allow for work order statuses and task completions to make sure that there are clear handoffs between our different teams involved. The closeout is just as important as the design. And also, we are actively finding opportunities for system integration, either internally or with developers, to make sure that there is visibility of where the project is at. Okay, well, with that, I conclude the presentation. I don't know if there is any questions that you would like to ask at this time.
Any questions? Yes, so the time frame is 18 hours, but it could be scattered between a week, a month, a year.
Exactly.
But the time frame from design to closeout is approximately 18 hours.
Yeah, that's for workload purposes to estimating, I mean, how long it's going to take us to get to a project. I mean, that will be if there was only one project and everybody was answering on their task. But in reality, our project managers have dozens of projects at the same time. So the fastest that they can to be taken care of is through the whole communication and construction process, at least a couple of months before you can see facilities being built. But they could extend even to a couple of years, especially for subdivisions that requires a lot of other areas to be built. It's not just only the electric. You have to coordinate everybody else. But developers understand, and we do our part to make sure that whatever falls under our purview, that is addressed as soon as possible.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Okay, next on our agenda is the Silver Blaze overview.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me today. My name is Linda Rubio. I am the CIS administrator for the CIS department. Today, I'm here to present you the new customer engagement portal, what we call Silver Blaze. If we can summarize Silver Blaze in one sentence, it can be your account, you control anytime. It is designed to be easier, faster, and more accessible for the customers. Everything that the customers need is going to be centralized in one place. It is available 24/7 on your phone, tablet, or computer. The signing process is really easy, as well as the login process, and again, it works across devices. How to get to this new portal? The easiest way to get to the new portal is going to our main website, which is www.bronzeville-pub.com, and then click on My Account. After you click on My Account, it's going to take you directly to the portal page, where you can either sign up as a new customer or log in if you already registered your account. To sign up as a new customer, you only need your account number and your personal ID. Again, all you need to know about your information is going to be in this new portal for the customer. The first thing you're going to see on the home page is a really nice dashboard where you can see your account details, the balances, due dates. You can see a snapshot of the previous consumption, the consumption for the previous month, as well as 6 months of history of consumption, either for water or electric, depending on the service that you have, and as well as the 6 months of history of your transactions. You can also access this portal to make payments or to see your previous bills. Of course, your current bill is going to be available for you as well. The customers are going to have the ability to make one-time payment, sign up for auto pay, sign up for paperless, pay by text, or schedule payments in the future. The customers are going to be able to see their previous transactions. It can be payments, your bills, late charges, if any, adjustments. Everything is going to be available for the customer in this portal. Another thing that we are offering the customer is the ability to see their usage, and we are presenting the usage in a chart as well as in a table. It depends on the customer's whatever they prefer, if they are more visual or if they want to see just the transaction line by line. We are going to be rolling an update in the next few months. In this new update, the customers are going to be able to see the daily readings for the AMI meters. Another option that the customers have with this portal is that they can compare the consumption from month to month, and they can do that as well from year to year. So you can compare your summer months versus your summer months and your winter months with your winter months. The customers have the ability as well to send requests for customer service. They can request a disconnect service, transfer utility service, update their personal information, request payment arrangement if they need to, or send us a questions regarding billing or account issues. They don't need to wait for business hours. They can just submit their request online. What we are doing with this portal is that we are putting the control in the hands of the customers. We are offering improved tools, but at the same time, we are committed to the same level of service. We are just giving the customer one more option. This portal is easy to use, but of course, if the customer wants to come to our office or talk to us by the phone, of course, we are here to help the customer. Okay. And that is a quick overview of the new customer engagement portal. Our goal is to make the managing the account easier, faster, and more accessible for the customers. I thank you today again, and I ask if you have any questions.
Go ahead.
Ms. Rubio, thank you for that presentation. I do have a question. If a customer has several different properties with several different addresses, does each account have to have a separate ID and then entry, or based on an ID, whether it's a social or something, can all of their accounts be populated into one area?
In the same profile?
Yeah.
Yes, as long as we have all your accounts, let's say I am the customer with several addresses and several accounts, as long as all those accounts are linked to my same person, here in PUB, I'm gonna be able to link all my accounts on the same profile.
I was going to say, thank you for the presentation, that I went on there on Monday night and I started an account and I checked out my different properties and they were all in there and I was able to make my payments on all of them. So that was pretty cool, actually going in there for the first time and setting up an account and seeing the different properties and making my payments. So it was pretty cool. So
Thank you for your payment.
So it was pretty cool doing that. And it was like about 10 o'clock at night. I was bored, so I said, well, let me try this out. So it was pretty cool.
Thank you for trying. I invite you to register if you
So
haven't
yeah, all the
done so.
properties were in there.
Yes. Any other question?
Yes, so now we're seeing that we can check how the account is doing. Would it be a way of having like an alarm, just letting us know this is not your normal consumption? Would you check?
That would be a really nice feature. I'm gonna take your feedback into consideration, of course, and we are glad to have this feedback from the panel so we can improve in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, we're keeping the clients informed of these options. We're
Yes.
blasting it up to everyone to make them aware that now PUB has these options.
Yes, we launched a social media campaign to inform the customers about this new portal. I think it was 2 weeks before the go-live date.
Correct. We did set up both like two kinds of visuals, either just like a step-by-step way to sign up for the account, or just or before that we were letting people know that there was going to be a new system that they needed to sign up for. But we also did, or some of my coworkers did some fun little videos, like reels, to kind of engage with the customers and just let them know, hey, this is what you need to do, and there were flying computers and things like that on their videos. But we're trying our best to be relatable and just kind of keep everybody informed. But of course, as much as we try to do that, the way you can help is by, I know Mr. Medrano shares consistently, but if anybody you who sit on this panel, it's important for us to get your support and just share it as well. And it doesn't have to be through social media. I mean, that'd be great, but just to let people know, like, hey, we saw this, and there's gonna be some changes, and so it
It was,
really helps us
easy,
out.
it was easy to use and go through it, and I
Happy
was
to
checking
hear
out
that.
the different tabs and stuff, so it was really cool to see
And
that.
I think there's gonna be probably just like anything else, there's a transition, like, I didn't know this was offered. Not that they couldn't do it, they just didn't know it was offered. And so I
Exactly.
think it is, it is important to spread those things, or rather promote them on social media when they run across our own feeds, so that, the city continues to be informed. And I saw those little short clips, they are entertaining.
Yes.
But whatever it takes to grab someone's attention and say, oh, I can do this. And I think we reach a lot more consumers that way. And I think that at 10 o'clock, like Mr. David over there is, checking his, but that does give the convenience of being able to do that. It's like you're looking at if you get your bill and you get it in hard copy, and it's like, oh, I gotta go do this. Well, I can do this right now.
Exactly, you
And,
don't have
and that's the
to-
convenience of
yes,
this, but we just
yes,
have to continue to let the community know.
yes.
So good, yeah.
And it's very important to keep the people informed that they can still come here and
Of
they gonna be
course.
serviced and everything.
Of course,
That we're
we're
not
here
gonna
to
just
help the community.
start this and you're not gonna be able to come and try to fix things on person or anything like that.
What I like are the options that you all are offering to the community. You could either come in, you could, pay at HEB or do it online. I like the option that you're giving the community. That's
Yes.
really important. That's
Whatever
flexibility.
makes their
Yeah.
life easier.
Great, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda, any public comments?
I didn't receive notice of any public comments, but at this time, if anybody from the audience would like to stand up and approach the podium, feel free to do so.
Hello. Hi, my name is David Cornejo, and I've been here before. I have a concern at Valley Inn and Country Club with the properties that are non-metered. And I have reached out to several of the PUB employees, Mr. Mark Dombrowski, I believe, Eddie Campirano, and Estrella Sorolano. I can't really pronounce her last name, but she goes by Estrella, that's her first name. And anyway, but that was about 25, 30 days ago, and nobody got back to me concerning on where we at. Mr. Dombrowski said that they have 35 years of studying the matter, and I requested a report on it, and because I believe that I would be very interested in seeing where we're at after 35 years of studying this project. The other gentleman said that it takes 18 hours to review a project, and overall it might take 2 years, he said, but 35 years is a long time. It's like over a third of a century. It's almost half of my age, I believe. I think it is. So, it's a long time, right? Regardless. I'm here because I believe that the Pubcap, the sole purpose or the main purpose of the Pubcap, and I did look it up today, okay? So bear with me. The Pubcap was established in 1983, which is over 40 years ago. So 1983, is committed to addressing customer concerns. As a result, this committee, the PUB, establishes the Brownsville Utilities Board Consumer Advisory Panel to provide customers a forum to express community concerns in 1983 by providing communications and services to its customers, identifying and addressing electric, water, and wastewater issues affecting the Brownsville PUB and its customers, responding to Brownsville PUB's request for advice, and continuation on various issues, similar to what I have, right? So this is what I believe that we're here for, so that I can talk before you and that you can take the issue on hand and say, let's try and resolve this. Let's see what we can do.
Sir, the last time you were here, you did speak with these gentlemen. Did they not respond to you? Did they not take it to the office? Or what happened during those meetings?
The only person who spoke to me was Mr. Mark
Okay,
Dombrowski, I believe that I'm saying that correct.
yes, sir.
And he was here. He
Right.
was here at this
Right.
venue. And then I did get a phone call from PUB. And the person who did call me was, I believe her name is Marley Ramos. And she was the only person who reached out to me, and I told her, yes, go ahead and send an email to all these people and give them my phone number and have them call me or email me. You know, I would love to hear from them, and nothing, not one of those three persons communicated with me. So this is why
You
I'm
had a
here.
communication with Eddie Campirano too, right?
That was a while back, sir, but that was, I believe, well, it might have been on the same issue. Yeah, this is, like I said, it's been going on for 35 years.
Okay.
And the meeting that you had with them, what did you all discuss? Did they not answer your
Well,
questions?
one of the concerns that I had was, remember, the $25 service fee?
Right, I remember.
And he said that was justifiable, that that he could justify that fee based on the fact that they have to do it in the office, not just necessarily out in the field where they have to manually open a meter or a valve on a meter, because I believe that is most of the charge that they're charging for. But he said, oh, as long as we do it here in the office, then that's acceptable. And now another thing that I might bring up, as long as I'm here, is that if you all notice on your bills, if you have a meter, they're gonna charge you a service fee, a monthly service fee for water and a monthly service fee for wastewater. And that fee is about $26 right now, I believe. It went up in January. If you multiply that times 75,000 customers, that's about $1,800,000 monthly. That's a large fee, and they get it each and every month, and it's included in your bill.
So, sir, what are you asking from us to ask them directly?
What I would like to know, sir, is if it's true that they've been doing this review or study for 35 years, can you show us the work that you've done? Can you provide that? Now, Marley did say that Mr. Dombrowski hasn't been here long, maybe 2 or 3 years. That she did mention that, so she said more than likely it won't be him who will provide the information, but I mean he'll know who
Okay, and
who
the
could
study that
provide.
they told you they were doing, was it for electrical, water? or
Water,
what kind
the
for
meters,
water?
the meters, yes, sir.
Water
because
meters.
At
So
a
that-
certain point, Mr. Ramirez, they did start installing water meters there at VICC.
Okay.
But then for some reason, they just stopped. And once they stopped, they never restarted again. So all the properties that were not metered are still not metered.
So they stopped installing water meters.
Yes,
Okay.
and then I said, and then I think to myself, we have a bunch of people coming into Brownsville, different companies, to install the fiber optics. And they're done, I believe they're done, because I don't see them anymore, but I used to see them everywhere. I mean, if these guys can come into Brownsville, the whole city of Brownsville, and install fiber optics, including VICC, because I got the fiber optics at my property.
Okay, so
You
the
know,
other thing you're
once it-
asking is
Yeah.
about the study of 35 years. You just want to know what happened with that study?
And where are we at?
Okay, and where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, I will find out, I will ask, and you will receive a phone call from me, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Hold on, there's someone behind you.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Pubcap members. My name is Constanza Minor. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for BPUB, for the
Good
record.
afternoon.
Mr. Cornejo did get an email response from Mr. Dombrowski earlier today. I have a copy to supply for him in case he missed it, but it does provide some information. We have been meeting regularly with the city to have a path forward for VICC residents. This is not a simple situation, like Mr. Cornejo states. It's old. And so it takes a lot of collaboration between BPUB and the city to find a solution that is, that's viable for everyone. And so I appreciate your patience and your concern. We are working as fast as we potentially can, and all the residents will receive the same information as at the request of the city through a town hall that District Commissioner Pedro Cardenas, I think his district is doing for VICC. So once that's able to be scheduled, we hope to come together with the city so that we can provide adequate responses for the homeowners at VICC that do not currently have a particular meter. So with your permission, I'll go ahead and give him a copy of this letter, and we'll be happy to sit with Mr. Cornejo, if we can schedule a meeting to resolve any billing concerns or questions that he may have.
Thank you, Ms. Minor. Will that
My
suffice?
pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, for now, yes, sir, but I do need that. I would like to have that, I'm sorry. Sir, yeah, for now, I didn't see the email. I just looked
Well,
each
that
and
right
every
there,
day.
it will cancel.
Yeah, today, I didn't look for the email, but I have done it. Like I said, I've been waiting for it for 30 days, and I finally got it today.
Okay, well, that should answer your questions, and the study will have to wait until, like she said, until they get it all together. And like she said, they will bring it to the attention of the homeowners of VICC.
Yes, this email is dated 4/15/2028 at 3:58 p.m. So it was like,
So it was sent- but it was sent to you all- but it was sent to
less
you
than an
today.
hour ago.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so.
But at least you have it now, so now we just have to just be patient and let the city and PUB get together with the commissioner and let them do what they need to do, and then they'll get with the homeowners of VICC.
Yeah, but I would still like a copy of that report of all the work that's been done, sir.
Once you have a meeting with the proper person, I believe they can provide you some copies or whatever you need to fulfill your request.
Now, how do I get in touch with Mr. Dombrowski? Is there
I believe his information is on the email.
on the email? Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I emailed him like 20 days ago, and I'm just getting this today.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Dombrowski missed his emails. Today we got this email because he did provide an email request through our website. And we don't know whether it was, it was kicked to spam or for whatever reason, but he has now, now that he's sent the email out, his responses, he'll be able to see them. And so we hope that, I am tagged on that email as well. My name is Constanza Minor. If you can reach him, you can always reach me.
It's being worked on. It's being worked on, and they know about it, so we just have to be patient. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, Mr. Ramirez, yes, I appreciate your help, sir, and
Thank you,
I
sir.
believe that you guys are listening to me, and that I will get a response, something going now, and not just sit on it, and hopefully it'll go away.
We all hear
We
you.
don't want to
We're
be
all-
there. We
We're
don't
all
want
here
to be
together,
there.
and we are working with you.
Okay?
Excuse me, sir, I have a question. So does your home have a meter?
No.
And what does that mean for you?
What that means is that I'm flat rated at about $96 a month. And that, I believe, I also tried to get, because it used to be on your bill. This is the average electric consumption, water consumption, and sewer consumption, on an average home in Brownsville, but that information is no longer available on your bill. It's no longer there. So I reached out to the lady who takes care of that situation, information, and she said that I was asking questions, and they don't answer questions. That's what she said.
Perhaps on this new online portal, that information will be there?
I'll look it up. I have seen it before, and I got around it, and I was able to make my payments without using it because I also have several properties, and I have several properties that I pay for at PUB. And I said, no, I'm used to the old way. And I got around it, and I paid all my bills. But now that I heard her presentation, I will try and also get on it, and hopefully it'll be easier for me
Thank
to
you,
pay
sir.
my bills.
Thank you, sir. You have a good
Thank you,
evening.
sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have a next meeting date for May the 2026, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, next, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move to adjourn.
I second.
Anything opposed? All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.